You know who always has a lot on their plate?
Me?
No.
Oh.
Chris Brown's publicist. Well, apparently she no longer has to pick up after Chris Brown's shit, as she quote unquote said, after they went on a back and forth texting spree after Chris Brown felt that NICOLE Perna, a PR guru who Chris Brown had initially hired to fix his PR disasters after the Rihanna altercation, is now basically quitting. So I'm going to read some of the text conversations that TMZ acquired, where NICOLE says, "Chris, respect, you're in my prayers. X," as X means hug, I'm assuming, or kisses, right?
Kisses.
And Chris responds with, "Bitch, you in my nightmares." Now, it doesn't even just end there. As you know, Chris Brown is always in and out of the media for a lot of controversial things. And then on top of that, Chris Brown's manager, who he had again hired after the Rihanna thing, is suing Chris Brown because he's alleging that Chris Brown beat him to a pulp. Now, if this wasn't such a serious story, I would say the irony is so thick, you could just cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Well, one, I think we probably shouldn't call it the Rihanna thing because it was domestic violence and it was it was more than a thing. That's one. Two, unfortunately.
Incident. Sorry, I apologize.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I wasn't like I mean,
no. I think honestly, it's a good example of how we're so desensitized to issues with regards to Chris Brown. It just seems like it's become part of his public persona. We just assume, and this is gross to say, we assume that Chris Brown beats people when he gets angry, and unfortunately, that has been corroborated by stories of people close to him that are getting out. And I think it's important to point out that when his tour manager quits and when his manager quits and when his publicist quits, these are people that are on his team. You know how he says Team Breezy? These are people that are paid to have his back. They make their living making sure that he does well, that he is healthy. That's why his original manager was hired, to make sure that he got clean off of drugs. And so they were rooting for this guy as best as we can figure out. And it looks like he just wasn't treating them well at all. And I don't know, it breaks my heart because I think he's a truly talented and gifted individual who
very
is
good dancer and singer.
He's so deeply troubled. He just put out a video on his Instagram saying that these people are quitting or because he fired them because they're stealing money from him. And it's a very bizarre video that he filmed in his room, and he doesn't look well physically. I don't know. I don't know his face particularly well. We're not close personal friends, but I don't know. There's something off about what's going on with him, and it makes me concerned. But I also have to commend this publicist for calling him out. This publicist, praise her. Oh my God, she's Chris Brown's publicist.
Okay.
That is a mountain of stuff to deal with.
But like, let's clarify one thing though. Okay, so Chris Brown was upset with her, and I apologize for not mentioning this earlier. And it doesn't really change the fact that this publicist had a mountain of work ahead of her. But Chris Brown was very upset with her because because she was incapable of getting him in his Black Pyramids.
She was incapable.
He felt that she couldn't, she wasn't doing enough to get him on magazine covers like GQ and Vogue, which, according to his publicist, said wanted nothing to do with him.
Yeah, she said,
which
quote,
makes
Anna
sense.
Wintour doesn't want to fuck with you.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like,
I've never believed a sentence more in my life. Anna Wintour does not want to fuck with Chris Brown. That seems to link up.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's pretty much over at this point, right?
Well,
what more can he do?
I think he needs to get help. It's really sad that so many people that are close to him are just leaving. And not only are they leaving, they're
in a violent way.
Well, they're burning this bridge. The tour manager allegedly got off the bus after the tour manager was threatened when Chris Brown said that he was going to do to the tour manager what he did to Mike G. Mike G was his manager, who he beat to a pulp. So the plot thickens.
Look, it's still unacceptable, okay? Amir asked the question, is Chris Brown a psychopath? I don't think so. I think Chris Brown he's pampered. Like, unfortunately, when you're extremely talented and you get to a certain level of superstardom where women are throwing themselves out on the street saying, I don't care that he beat Rihanna, he can beat me any day, when you're surrounded by sycophants, like most superstars are, it gets to your head. And I think Chris Brown is probably a very confused man at this point who has this weird, like who has this idea that he is above other people, and it is perpetuated into this explosive personality trait. I don't think he's a I don't think he's a psycho. I don't think he's a psychopath or a sociopath. I just think he experiences that level of narcissism, and he doesn't believe that he can do anything wrong. He's such a narcissist that he believes that everyone else around him are out to get him. And in some instances, celebrities are involved in situations where other people are out to get them. But in this case, like Grace mentioned, these are all Chris Brown's people. Like, Chris Brown hired these people to rehab his image, to get him out of drugs, to get him out of debt. And the fact that all of these people that are closest to him, that are being paid to rehab his image, are saying, we can't do this anymore. You're a threat to yourself. You're a threat to us. It shows me that I don't know if Chris Brown is capable of being rehabbed. Having said that, everybody in America loves a great comeback story.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like the stage is set right now if Chris wants to make a comeback and check in with himself and mend some hurts that he's caused within the people close to him. I feel like we kind of came down on him hard in this story, but, you know, we want to see everyone do well, so.
Yeah, especially Chris Brown.
Because we miss your music, dude.
This is great. His
Love
songs
it.
are so good, and
So
I don't want to
catchy.
feel bad in public when I listen to some of his latest music.
We just want you to be fine China again.
Okay, anyway, that's all for the Chris Brown story. What do you guys think? Is Chris Brown's actions irreprehensible? Can he possibly fix his image? Can he go into rehab and do better? What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm Hassan Piker. This is Grace Baldridge, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.